All right, let's scratch that. Here we go live. 1942 setup, BBR rules. First order is to correct the number of victory tokens that the axis starts out with. Joe pointed out they also have Pacific Islands and World Oil. So that means that they start out with 10 of the 12 that they need. Pretty darn close. The next order of business is the research dice. And this is the Russian buy. The $5 is for my 5 dice. The remainder is spent on 1 tank, 3 infantry, 2 artillery. Let's go with the order of dice. Russia will be rolling 5. Japan and Germany each 8. US 7. And UK will be rolling 5. When you're in a barbecue town, your container probably should be barbecue beans for your dice. Nice dice cup. All right. Russia roll. Got to have a 5 or a 6. There's a 6. Russia succeeds. And we will turn that over as we know exactly what Russia's is. Heavy tanks. Next up, Japan with 8 dice. I think I messed that up when we count the dice. All right, there's 8 dice in there. They are successful. All right, so I don't know what Japan's tech is, but we'll move them to active. The USA is next with 7 dice. And there's a 6, I see. They are successful. So the US is active, still hidden. You don't have to reveal your tech until it is over. Or until you want to, I guess. Germany. This is the one we need to miss, as Russia is attacking Germany on the first turn. Nope, they got 1 hit. Wow, that was close. So they have their tech, and I don't have the right roundel down, but it is also the heavy tanks. So I'll have to change that. And last but not least, UK with their 5 dice. There's a 5. Whew, that was close. Corporal was sweating whether or not to do that. So everyone is active. I should show it when I say that. Everyone is active on their tech. Heavy tanks for Russia and Germany. I'll have to correct that roundel when I get a chance. So now we go on to battles. And here is the setup. And I've marked the orange markers are the battles there, except that's a reminder. All right, so heading into the Baltic states is 1 fighter with 4 movement left. Coming from the capital, Moscow, 1 fighter with 2 movements left. 3 infantry. All right, into Belarus, an infantry and artillery from Leningrad. Everything from Archangel. And I believe we have 1 tank coming through Bryansk into Belarus from that direction. So that's 1, 2. This is hard to actually hold, move, and keep things in the frame here. All right, into Smolensk. Those 4 infantry and artillery. These 3 tanks. The plane from the Urals, 1, 2, 3, and has a movement of 1 left. Now that I see that, this tank from Moscow is not going there because I was bringing in that plane there. All right, into Western Ukraine. 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Into Ukraine, 3 infantry from Bryansk, 4 infantry from Rostov with the artillery. Let's follow that up with this tactical. 1, 2, has a movement of 3 left. We got a tank from Stalingrad and a mech, 1 and 2. All right, so that leaves 2 tanks and a mech in Moscow. 1 tank goes down to Ukraine, 1, 2. And I am thinking that this mech will also go down to the Ukraine. As well as this tank. Let me look at those combat moves and make sure that is 100% correct of what I had in mind. All right. That's as good as it's going to get. Now I'm going to try something a little different here. I'm going to move these pieces so I can see them better. I'm going to place that heart there and place the Russian pieces on here. This is that actual battle box in theory. So the pieces are coming over from the Ukraine and going on the box. All right, so there's the tanks, there's the mechs. We have the tactical. I'll leave the 3 marker there. Slide those back. All right, the German defenders. 3 infantry. 1 artillery. 1 plane. 1 heavy tank. So the heart is in Ukraine. That'll be that battle on this battle box, and I'll move it over here because that was a fairly big battle. And we'll do that with Russia here with the diamond. We'll put a diamond in here. So we've got 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 heavy tanks going up against 3 infantry, an artillery, and a tank. So those 2 we'll do on the box. If that makes sense. If that's no good, let me know and I won't do that again. But these 2 battles are over there. And on the other 2, 3, I'll roll right here. So let's get going with the Ukraine battle first, which is this set right here. So coming in first is going to be a target select on the heavy tank, and it is a hit. Excellent. Next is the regular attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones. However, one of them is boosted to a 2. So that's 2, 4, 6. So there's my 8 ones. 8 ones, 2 2s, and then my heavy tanks will be 3 at 4. So that is the roll for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. All right. So the casualties will be 3 infantry, 1 artillery. The plane survives. It seems like I'm moving this camera way too much. All right, so 3 infantry at 2, 1 artillery at 2, and 1 fighter at 4. And those are the dice. And that's the roll. Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. I mean, I'm excited for it. So those are the casualties, 1 Russian casualty. All right, I got that really. That's really a bad roll. All right, to finish that off, I'm just going to roll the 3 heavy tanks. I got 2 hits. I will roll the 1 fighter. He gets a hit. All right, so Russian, German. Those are the casualties, and this is what survives. Oh, my cord's caught. All right, so there is that, and we'll put that in Ukraine when we're done. Next battle up is Smolensk. A little smaller. We got 3 1s, 2 2s, and 3 4s. Those are the dice. And that is a terrible roll. All right, 1 casualty for the Germans, which will be that 1 chip. So they have 2, 4, 4 at 2 for the infantry and artillery, and 1 at 4. Oh, equally as bad roll. All right, so Russia loses 1, Germany loses 1. Back into the battle. 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 4s. And there's the dice. And there's the roll. We got 1 hit way up here. So that is 3 total hits. So that's 1, 2, 3. So the surviving piece is the German heavy tank. So he has 3 2s and a 4 coming back at me. Right there. And the roll is not good. So 1 Russian dies, these 3, and that leaves 2 2s, a 1, oops, wrong dice, and 3 4s for the Russian roll. And that is 1, 2, 3 hits, but only needed 1. Clear the dice. And then there's 1 4 for the German heavy tank. Oh. Let's get on top of that so you can't see it. All right. I don't know. That's a pretty bad roll in there. All right, so there's the diamond. So we'll go into on the map battles now. If I can just set that down. We have right here in the Ukraine, Western Ukraine, 1 German, 1 Russian, 1 Russian artillery. So that will be 2 2s for the Russians. 1 hit. For the German, 1, oh, dice missed. Nothing. Oh, there's some text coming over the phone. Hopefully, I didn't think that would show up. So the Germans lose the 1 guy. The next battle, is 3 German infantry and 1 heavy tank defending. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. So 1 will be boost. So that'll be 4 1s. I'm gonna have to put that in the cup. 4 1s, 2 2s, a 3 for the fighter, and a 4 for the heavy tank. And that is the dice. There's no hits in the cup. And what rolled out? The 4 rolled out, so we'll roll that again. All right, so there is 3 hits. So the 3 German infantry are gone. So we've got 3 2s and a 4. So that will be the German defensive roll. 2 hits. All right, so Russia loses 2 guys. The tank. Oh, the tank survived. I got to roll again. That's right. Almost got ahead of myself. All right, so now we're down to 3 1s, 2 1s, 2 2s, 4, and a 3. So there's the dice. 3 hits, only needed 1. Germans will defend with a 4. Oh my gosh. You did see that, right? All right, so Russian survives there. All right, so the last battle in the Baltic states, I have 3 infantry with no artillery, 2 fighters against an infantry and a heavy tank. So, get the dice ready. All right, there's my 3 1s, 2 3s. 2 hits. So the Germans are gone. They have a 2 and a 4 coming back. Oh. Oh, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so that is it for the attacks. All right, so let's get some of this stuff out of the way. We'll set this right here, and we'll just start our movements. Well, first let's put these units back on the board. So off the heart, which is this one, we have 3 tanks. All right, and then the 5 infantry. We got 2 mechs, 1 artillery, and the tactical has 3 left. Let's get that off the board. And let's move these back onto the diamond, which was Smolensk. It wasn't there. All right. All right, so get that off. That's what happens. That's probably why I shouldn't use that. All right, good news is there wasn't anything there but those. All right, so time to land the planes. This one has 1 left. He'll land in Leningrad. These 2 fighters, regardless of their movement, will land in Leningrad. And if I wanted to, I think this one fighter that had 4 left here will go 1, 2, 3 into Rostov. And we'll land that tactical in Rostov. So the planes have landed. The battles are over. I'll count up the numbers here in a second. Let's finish the movements over here. Over here we're going to move 1 and 1. There's just not a lot over here. We're going to slide him up. These two guys are going there. And what else do I have here? Kazakhstan's moving up, Caucasus is moving there, and aircraft gun moving there. Russian down in northwest Iran moving up. This sub is going out to convoy. All right, I think, well, I've got these guys moving one back for sure. Let's move them both back. All right, so as the board stands, I think we're good. Now this is my first time doing this kind of format, so if you've seen something that you hate, don't like, let me know. To me, it seemed kind of crazy, some of the movements I was doing, trying to keep the camera on the action. So either way, Ukraine is 3 away from Germany. Western Ukraine is 2. Belarus is 1. Baltic is 1. So that is 1, 2, 4, 7. So we will move Germany down 7. This is hard to do looking through the lens. And Russia up 7. All right. So they are at 35. They do have all 3 of those, so that's 3. They have 1 territory that was Axis, which is northwest Iran. So that is another 3. They do have 3 of the following: Leningrad, Stalingrad, Baltic states, Eastern Poland. So they have 3 of the 4. So that gives them 11 national objectives plus 35, so that is 46 IPCs to spend next turn. Here is their buy, which we will place now. And before I'm placing, you also have the Lend-Lease. So we get to roll a dice. 4. 4 on the Lend-Lease card. I don't know if that's in focus or not. A destroyer, an Archangel, or $5. It's an $8 unit. That will be sunk immediately by that fighter. All right, so I think I'm going to take the destroyer, even though I might immediately lose it. The destroyer goes in Lend-Lease, goes in that sea zone. Now I'll place my buys here, which are these units. I'm placing a tank, infantry, and artillery up in Leningrad. What did I place up there? Oh, I placed 2 artillery, that's right. All right, so tank, infantry, artillery, and Leningrad. Infantry, artillery, in Moscow. That is the end of my turn. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. Like I said, let me know what I did wrong, because it's kind of really hard now that I actually do it to hold the camera, roll dice, move units. So I'm going to have to get used to that. But here's an overview after Rush's first turn. Oh, we got a marker here. So that is one more that I missed. So let's recount that. So Germany lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So we'll move them down 1, move Russia up 1. So that gives Russia a total of 36 plus 11. So that would be $47 in cash for next turn. And now we'll go over what units are where on the end here. In the Caucasus, 1 infantry. Stalingrad, 1 infantry. Rostov, 1 tactical, 1 fighter, 1 infantry, 1 AA. Ukraine, 3 heavy tanks, 1 artillery, 2 mech, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. Ukraine, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Let's go up here and start it back. Baltic states, 3 infantry. C-Zone 125, 1 sub. C-Zone 127, 1 destroyer. Leningrad, 2 fighters, 3 infantry, 1 heavy tank, 1 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft guns. Belarus, 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 heavy tank. Smolensk, 3 heavy tanks, 3 infantry, 1 artillery. Moscow, 1 AA, 1 artillery, 2 infantry. Yeah, Tunguska, 2 infantry. Buryati, 1 infantry. Saka, 1 infantry. Amur, 1 infantry. Siberia, 2 infantry. Let me know what I missed. And now the next player up is Imperial Japan.